Chapter 1, God? POV, Balin. Where am I asked. I see I'm in a completely white room with a roulette wheel. Hello child, how are you? Answering your question, I'm confused. Where am I? You're in the white room. So, I already know that, I said in dismay. This is where people change their destiny, their past and their future. Wow, that was a nice sentence. Summing up then. You go to another world, ha 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 ha. What? Yes, you are a lucky boy, ha 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 ha. What? That weird laugh. Good, so let's get started. I will spin roulette and see what will fall. Remembering that we will spin the roulette of body, world / period end power. Okay. Because I'm so calm, it must be this room. Yes, it is this room. How do you? Let's begin. Corpo 9.8.7.6.5.4.3.2.1. Elfo, Lord of the Rings. Lucky boy, ha 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 ha. Mundo / Periodo 9.8.7.6.5.4.3.2.1. Game of Thrones / 5000 to before the plot. Powers 9.8.7.6.5.4.3.2.1, magical talent. My god, my god. Yes child, even more, have fun, ha 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 ha. Chapter 2, Routine. POV, Balin. Was that a dream? I'm just a typical teenager, I'm just a Game of Thrones fan. If this is really happening, thank you. So many times I've wanted to explore the world of Game of Thrones, and now I can and I will. I have to take this chance. I'm in a tight spot, probably the belly of my mother's world. And if I'm thinking, it's because of my soul. Let's create a plan. I need to see where I am. If it's Westeros, it'll be good. This will be dangerous because blood magic is at its peak. It's 5000,000 years before the script, so the Valyrian Empire wasn't created, nor did the Rhoynars arrive in Westeros. Let's sort it then. POV, Emma. My baby will be born after so long. Arthur should be here, what time will he be back? From the kitchen, I hear a male voice, must be Arthur. POV, Arthur. From far away I hear footsteps coming into the kitchen, and I see it's Emma. How was the hunt, Arthur? Was it quiet? She asked. It was quiet, I caught some fish and birds, I said, smiling. Emma, can you remove the scales from the fish? I will go to Alex's house to see how he is, I said. Of course, you can go there, she said. There are rumors that winter will come faster, and I have to hunt more animals, and I'll tell Alexander and Yora to get ready to go hunting. OCD OCD OCD. It's me, Alex, open the door, I shouted. Hello my friend, have you come to see my son? He said, smiling. No, I came to talk that we have to hunt faster, winter is coming, I spoke with a serious tone. All right, now come see my son, said Alex. Arriving at the room of Alex and Maria, I see a healthy baby who does not stop crying and ask. What is his name? Brandon, said Alex. Maria, I came to warn you that tomorrow morning Alex will go hunting early, I said. Okay, just take care of him for me, she said with a tired tone. Chapter 3, Birth. POV, Balin. More, how long do I have to stay here? I lost count of days already, grumbled. What is this? I asked. That burning sensation, POV, Emma. I think my baby is being born. Arthur, come here, run. I screamed. What is it, baby? He asked. What do you think it is? He's birthing. I shouted. Wait, I'll call the older ones, lie down on the bed, he spoke in a hurry. POV, Arthur. I have to be born, my son is being born. I ran through the village, I almost didn't see people already, it was night, I saw the houses of the elders. TOC 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 TOC. Please help me, my wife, my son is born. The door opens, and I see an elderly person that I recognize, Isabel. Please Isabel, help me, my son is being born. Hello Arthur, how is the hunt going? She asked. Please don't worry, my son is being born, almost shouting. All right my son, take me to Emma, she spoke patiently. Thank you. Arriving home I can hear screams and desperation. Please, Isabel, let's go, I said almost in despair. Arriving at the door I hear a woman screaming. Querida, I arrived, will be fine my love, I spoke desperate. You'd better stay outside, Isabel spoke heavily. It's okay. 4 hours of labor and I still hear screams. Has it stopped? Please make it all right. Boy, come in. POV, Emma. At last the pain has stopped, I want to see my baby. I see Arthur entering the room, with a crying face, expecting the worst. Let me see my baby please. I said in a voice almost inaudible. I see Isabel staring at my baby and I do not know why and I am afraid. Isabel, what happened? I spoke almost inaudible. Look for yourself, Emma spoke. I take my baby and I see that he has purple eyes, black hair, the darkest shade I have ever seen, ears a little bit different than normal, but my baby is certainly the most beautiful baby I have ever seen. POV, Arthur. Emma is staring at our son, I thought. Emma, is everything okay? I asked. Come here and look for yourself, she said. Coming closer I see my son, purple-eyed child with black hair. Emma, our son, isn't he too cute? Ha ha ha, I asked her. Yes, he is beautiful, she said. But why does he have purple eyes and sharp ears? Magic, said Isabel. What? Shouted both of them. POV, Isabel. This child, she has a gift for magic, greater than anything I've ever seen, I said amazed. What do you mean magic? Said the two stooges. Yes, magic, your child is very special. I said. Take care of this child, protect him, and if someone asks why his eyes are like that, say that when you were pregnant ate aconitum. But why? Asked Emma. I told you he is very special, I said again. POV, Balin. I was finally born. I shouted to myself. Who's talking? I open my eyes and see an old woman who is staring at me. She passes to my mother. This woman is my mother, she is too beautiful, so that man is my father, he is also handsome, I thought. What is this old woman talking about? That made my parents scared. I thought. Well, whatever. I looked around and I see that I am in a small house, but it looks cozy, I thought to myself. Right, I came to this world, I need to stay strong and train to survive. I don't think it will be easy, but I have to survive, I thought. From what I can tell, I think I'm in West Eros, because if I were in Essex the climate would probably be arid. It's a good place to start. First I have to learn the language of West Eros and learn how to use magic and swords, I thought. I think I'm going to sleep. My mother has already slept from the looks of it and my father is tidying up the messy room. Tomorrow is going to be a long day, I thought. Chapter 4, Yura. POV, Emma. Tomorrow was already tiring yesterday, I thought. I look to my side and see my beautiful baby. We have to decide his name. For a special boy like him we have to give him a special name, I thought, laughing. I look to my side and see Arthur sleeping. Arthur, Arthur, I said low. What is it? He spoke almost inaudible. Wake up, we have to talk, I spoke low again. All right, let's go in the kitchen, he said. I get up from bed, get dressed, and he does the same while he smiles at me and I at him. Arthur, what will be the name of our son? I asked. POV, Arthur. Arriving in the kitchen she asks me. Arthur, what will be the name of our son? I think and speak. How about Robert, the name of his father? Emma. What, no? She said. And why not? I asked. This is a very normal name, for our son, she said. Then what name, my love? I asked. What about Balin? She said with a smile. 3 months later. POV, Balin. It's been a few months since I was born, my mom stays with me most of the time and talks to Maria, my dad's wife and friend. She also has a son and his name is Brandon. My dad stays with me while mom cooks, and at least 3 days a week he goes hunting with Alex and Yura. Alex is a slightly overweight man and reminds a little of Asians. He probably has some UTI relative. Yura is a normal Caucasian guy who likes to stay quito, but seems to be nice. These months I've started to learn the language of Westeros. I don't know how. I think it's because of the elven physiology or the magical talent. Speaking of magical talent, I can feel and see blue particles, which is probably mana. I've been thinking about how I can use it, and I came to the conclusion that I'll have to store it in my body. Then I remember that in my past life there was a novel called The Beginning After the End and Warlock of the Magnus World, where the protagonist forms a nucleus in his abdomen. I think it will take years to complete and I don't want to take the risk. I'm a 3-month-old baby. I'll start forming my nucleus at 4 years old. Until then I'll focus on my family and train my body. 1 year later. POV Emma. Sitting in my room I see my baby looking at me and smiling. Is my baby hungry? I asked myself. Ma'am. Babylon, did you speak? I said excitedly. Speak again, but now speak, mommy. Mom, he said. My baby already knows how to speak. Ha ha ha. Wait for him to know that Balin spoke mommy first. Ha 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 ha. 2 years later. POV, Balin. It's been 3 years and a few months since I was born. In that time I've done a lot of things like talk to mommy and daddy, help take fish scales off. It's starting to get colder. I heard from Dad and Uncle Alex that winter is coming. Winter here in Westeros is different from my previous world. Here in Westeros winter usually lasts 6 to 7 years straight. Papa, Alex, and Yura plus all the men in the village are going out hunting every day. They catch from birds, fish, rabbits, and even wolves. I am helping mommy clean the animals and store them, under the ground at home. Since it's cold it won't spoil for the whole winter. It's almost night and Dad hasn't come yet. Mom, where's Dad? He's late. Help. I hear Dad's scream. I turn to Mom, she's scared too. I run towards the scream. And see Uncle Yura bloodied while Dad and Uncle Alex carry him. Dad, what do you need? Tell me quickly, I said in a hurry. Son, quickly call Isabel, here run. The village is not big. I see the house of grandmother Isabel. Almost arriving I fall on the ground. What a damn, I hate having a child's body. Isabel. I shouted. I see an old woman coming out of the house. What's up honey, come in with a smile. I don't need your help, Uncle Yura got hurt, please hurry, I spoke quickly. She becomes serious and looks at me. Let's go. Chapter 5, Magic. POV, Balin. Arriving at Uncle Yura's with Isabel, they all look at me with scared looks. They have never seen a child with purple eyes and pointy ears. After all, I had never left the house. My mother always told me to stay at home. The only ones who saw me was Maria and Uncle Alex. Flashback. What the hell is this, Alex? Coming back. Please, Isabel, help Uncle Yura, I spoke almost screaming. She looked at me, with a look that I already understood. She can't do anything. Boy, I'm sorry I can't do anything, she said heavily. I see that he starts to stop breathing and I see black particles going towards him, and I know that he died. Son, come home, I'll take care of it. Yes, Daddy. 20 min later. Mom and I, we see a huge fire starting to burn. 9 months later. It's been 9 months since Uncle Yura died, and 4 years since I was born, and I'm finally going to start training swords and forming my core. I go outside the house and see Dad cutting wood. I don't know how he does it in this cold. I even understand. I don't feel much cold, but he... Looking around, I see the village empty, only my father is cutting wood today. Daddy, I shouted. Hi son, what are you doing out here? He asked. I came to ask to train, I said. Train what? He asked. Trained to become a great warrior. Finally thought you would never ask, he shouted. Dad, keep it down. Sorry. / 1 week later / POV, Balin. For a week, I've been training swords with Dad and chopping wood. After 3 days, Dad realized that my real weapon was the spear. Mom didn't want me to train in the cold like Dad, but she let me when she saw that I didn't feel too cold. The schedule was, in the morning I trained with Dad, in the afternoon I stayed with Mom for a while, and trained until the sun went down. When it gets dark I sit on the ground and attract the mana to my abdomen and try to condense it. I think that in a few years, I can complete the core, but since I am probably the only one in the world who has done this, I will have to figure it out on my own. It's already morning. Mom, I'm going to train. I shouted. / 1 year later / I finally figured it out. After a year, I figured out the right way to rotate, I thought excitedly. This rotation shape will help form a core. I estimate that in 3 years I will form the core. / 2 years later / I am currently 7 years old, the village has already become accustomed to me and my training. Dad and I train together, Mom always comes to watch our battles, I thought. My nucleus is starting to form and probably in a year's time it will be completed, I thought cheerfully. POV, Emma. My son and my husband can't stop training, my baby gets taller and cuter every year. My baby trains a lot during the day. He always talks, that you have to have a strong body, to sustain a magic. He always knew about his magic, he was always smarter than all the children I've ever seen. POV, Arthur. Son, when you use a spear, always use it wisely, spears are more lethal and stronger than swords. Yes, Dad, he said smiling. My son has always been special, from an early age he was intelligent and easy to deal with, I thought proudly. I always wondered how he knows about his magic. Son, let's go home, it's getting late. All right, Dad, he said smiling and taking my hands. / 1 year later / I guess today is the day, finally that day has come, my body is starting to get hot. I thought excitedly. Mother, Daddy, come here, I shouted. Hi son, the two asked. Mom, Dad, I think my magic is awakening, my body is burning, I said quickly. That hurts too much. Take me to the forest, as far away as you can, I said almost screaming. / 5 min / Son, we're in the forest and far from the village, what more do you need? I said, screaming, run as far away as you can. A gigantic explosion wiped out all the trees within 20 meters. Chapter 6, Power Up. POV, Emma. I see from afar a huge explosion, all the nearby trees are gone. Balin, where are you? I shouted. Arthur, let's find him now. I shouted. When I get close, I see a huge hole, and a 7-year-old girl lying there. I run to her. Balin, please wake up my son, I said desperately. Balin, wake up, it's your father, spoke Arthur desperate. My love, we have to get out of here, I spoke heavily, while Arthur caught Balin. / 1 week later / Isabel, can't you do anything to help Balin? I asked. No dear, this is a battle that only Balin can win, she said. What battle? I asked anxiously. His mana particles are out of control, he has to organize them somehow. POV, Balin. How many days have I been unconscious? I feel my body burning and throbbing, probably because of the explosion. I'm in a black room, without any light, looking down I see myself without clothes. This is probably my soul, so if this is my soul, I can imagine I'm wearing clothes, I thought laughing. Looking down again, I'm in the clothes I wear most days. / 1 week later / I found out after 1 week at last, I spoke lazily. I have to stabilize the mana of my body, and throw it to my core. Easier said than done, ha ha ha. / 2 years later / POV, Arthur. It's been 2 years since my son has been sleeping, he strangely doesn't need to eat. Isabel said that magic is sustaining him. Kai. I hear Emma's scream, and run into the house. Emma, what happened? I spoke hurriedly. I see her looking into my son's room. Son, ha 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 ha, you finally woke up, I said, screaming and jumping on him. My baby, you finally woke up. I see Emma jumping on him too. POV, Balin. After 2 years, in this dark hole I'm finally getting out, I thought excitedly. A little more and I'll finish this core. While I was thinking, everything went black. I hear children talking and screaming, birds singing, I hear my heart beating. So my theory was right, more and more my core evolves, the stronger I get and the more I can store mana inside me. Kai. I hear a scream, that my timpani almost break. I see my father and mother running up to me smiling. You finally woke up, my son, the two spoke. Yes, sorry it took so long, I said, crying. POV, Arthur. After a few minutes of talking. Son, so you were in a black room for 2 years? I asked. Yes, it was hard, he spoke heavily. And what did you do there, Balin? Asked Emma. I was trying to put my mana in my core, he said. More? Why, you want so much magic, Balin asked Emma. POV, Balin. Mom, with magic I can protect you. But how? He asked. Mom, Dad, you know what magic is for, don't you? I asked, almost laughing. I see the two look at each other, and shake their heads. It's serious, ah ha 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 ha, I said, laughing. Well, to simplify, can transform something impossible, I said. Like, for example, throw fire from his hands, control wind, create water, and so on, I said. I look at the two, and they are in shock. Son, isn't this too powerful? Yes, it is very powerful, I said. And something even more powerful than that, I said. Is there anything more powerful than all this? Asked Mom. Increase your Vita util, I said to both. And so I will teach you both how to use magic. POV, Emma. What my son said now changed everything I know about the world, I thought. Increasing useful life, controlling wind and water and even fire, I thought anxiously. I always thought my life would be to marry, have a child, a grandchild, and die, I thought. My son changed my world, and will change the world. POV, Arthur. My son sure is a genius, ha 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 ha, I thought to myself. My son, he changed my world, control fire, wind, water, ha 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 ha, I can't wait, I thought. One thing I noticed, is that after he gained the core, he got taller and more he doesn't look like a child. I thought. POV, Balin. After Mom and Dad left for his room, I started testing what I gained with the awakened core. I found that I can see farther, hear things I couldn't hear before, like birds singing from inside the forest. I gained superhuman strength, superhuman speed, and superhuman endurance, and I can levitate objects up to 20 kilograms. I realized that I look like a 14-year-old teenager, being only 10 years old. I also thought a lot about whether I would give magic to my parents. And I came to the conclusion that yes, I will explore the world, and I have to go safe in the knowledge that they will be fine when I return. And may they be alive when I return, as I have elven physiology, I can live easily millennia, and with magic I can live much longer, and I want them both to be by my side, and I will do everything for that to happen. Chapter 7, Dire Wolf. POV, Balin. It's been one day, I've been helping Mom and Dad create their cores. It's harder than I imagined. I came up with the theory that all people in the world have magic talent, but don't know how to use it, and the talents range from low, medium, high, supreme. Probably, both of them have medium talent for magic. The new routine of my day will be hunting and training by day, helping Mom and Dad attract mana to be abdomen. POV, Arthur. My son is helping me create my core. He said I have medium talent for magic. He said it's a great talent. I'll go hunting today with Alex, I'll call Balin to come too. Balin, come here, I shouted. Tun 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 tun. Balin, will you hunt with me and Alex? I asked. Is it serious? He asked excitedly. Sure, let's go quickly, I said. Son, winter is over, the animals are going out to eat, it won't be a smooth trip. No problem, Dad, I'll take care of you, ha 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 ha, he said. Go get your spear, I will call Alex, meet me in the forest. Okay, Dad, he said. Tell Emma we're going hunting, I shouted. Okay, Dad. POV, Balin. I'm coming in. Finally, today I'll go hunting with Dad, I'll test my powers, hi 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 hi. From far away I see Mom in the kitchen. Mom, come here to the bedroom, please. Hi Balin, what's up, she asked. Mom, me and Dad, we're going hunting today. I looked at her seriously. What? No, you're not. Mom, I promise nothing will happen. I speak sincerely. Me too, I gained powers because of my core, I'll be safe. I said. Okay, you can go, but come back before the sun goes down, she said. I take my spear, and leave the house, pass the houses in the village, see children and teenagers playing, they stare at me, some with envy, lust, and disgust. Arriving in the forest, I see my father and Uncle Alex. Hi, Dad, I'm here. Are we going? Sure, son, let's go, he said. Uncle Alex, how are you? I'm fine, kid, are you confident you'll catch any animals? Yes, I think at least one bird or rabbit. Let's follow the river, and see if we catch any animals, Dad said. 30 min later. I see something, said Dad. What the hell is a dire wolf? How is it possible, they can't cross the wall? Dad, what do we do? I asked. The dire wolf is almost 2 meters tall, he stares at us. Dad and Uncle, let's work together, I said low. Now I shouted. Daddy attacks dire wolf in the legs, and Uncle Alex attacks in the throat. I feel I can make a connection between me and dire wolf. If I can end this battle. I enter the black room, which is my soul, and use mana to try to make a contract with dire wolf. Outside the black room. POV, Arthur. I see my son, sitting on the floor from afar. He's probably doing his magic. Alex, let's delay as long as possible, I said in a hurry. Okay, he said. 2 min later. Arthur, I can't stand it anymore, said Alex in despair. I look at dire wolf, he has red eyes. The dire wolf attacks Alex in the chest, which cuts all his belly. No, I scream in despair. I see that the dire wolf is going to attack again and jump in front. What? I'm not dead. I think. I look up and see the dire wolf staring at me. Dad, I did it, Balin shouts from far away. POV, Balin. There, with the help of mana, a soul contract between me and dire wolf. I thought. I see from afar dire wolf near my father and Uncle Alex bloodied. Uncle Alex bloodied. I thought, scared. Father, what happened? I asked quickly. Dire wolf attacked him, can't you see, said father angrily. Leave it to me, I said quickly. Think, Balin, think. What can I do? What if I use mana and water to help heal him? Using the mana to attract the water from the river to Uncle Alex's wound, I deposit the mana in the water and on the wounds. I can see the wounds slowly closing up. Father, let's take him to the village, I said to my father, who was still staring at the wounds closing up. Let's go. Arriving at the village, I see that everyone looks frightened at me, but not at me, but at the dire wolf 2 meters behind me. Dad, leave Uncle Alex at his house, I'll go home. Okay, son, and introduce your little wolf to her, he said, almost laughing. Everywhere I went, people were looking at the wolf. Arriving home. Mom, come here please, I said. Leaving the house, I see her staring at the wolf. Son, where did you get it? Mother, you don't need to worry, I made a control with him, I spoke with pride. Son, I want one, ha 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 ha, she said laughing. Of course, I said as I walked into the house with the dire wolf. POV, Emma. I see a dire wolf, who I've only heard about in stories, coming into the house, I thought laughing. Son, he will stay in your room, I said. Okay Mom, no need to worry. POV, Balin. The dire wolf is lying on the floor of the room, I thought to myself, what would happen if I gave him magic? I put my hand on him, and pass ambient mana to his body, he feels the mana enter and leaves. And nothing happened, I guess I have to give mana every day for something to happen. Now that I've taught Mom and Dad how to rotate mana, I'll start training tomorrow morning to control the elements. Chapter 8, Magic Lance. POV, Balin. I look out the window and it is already morning, I want to start training the elements, I will tell my parents. I see that my father is in the kitchen. Dad, can I go in the forest? I asked. Yes, but be careful, and what will you do there? He asked. I want to start controlling the elements. I said. And what elements you want to start controlling? First I want the wind, then the earth, water, and then fire, I said. Okay, but I want you to teach me, when I awaken my core, he said laughing. Yes, sir, I said, leaving the house. Arriving at the forest with dire wolf, I realize that I have to choose a name. As he is all black and big, I decide to choose the name as the Nordic mythology. The dire wolf seems to like his new name, since he is licking me all over, ha ha ha. Arriving near the river where we were attacked by, I sit down near the river, and start to consent to the mana around me. I pull the wind around me into my hand. I open my eyes, and see a green ball of mana, concentrated. I throw this ball of wind at the tree in front of me. Boom! It's strong, but I need something more concentrated, I thought. Like a wind spear, I thought. I call again the mana, and the wind to my hands and mold with the mana the wind, to form a. I throw the towards a tree, which makes a concentrated hole in it. After a few minutes testing I realized that I can apply it to other elements. Since I am near the river, I will test I attract the river water with mana and mold it into a water spear. And now. Boom! I think I put in too much mana. I destroyed the tree, so if I go by that logic, the more mana I put into the spell the more powerful it is, I thought. Now I want to train telekinesis. Telekinesis is certainly something very powerful, I can use it to attack, defend quickly. I use telekinesis to pick up a rock and throw it into a tree. I realize that I still can't catch anything beyond 20 kilograms, I probably have to advance the core again. Well, that was tiring, let's go back home. Woof woof. POV, Emma. Arthur said that Balin went to train his magic in the forest, lunch is almost ready, where is he? I hear footsteps from far away, which is probably Balin's dire wolf. I see them enter the house. Hello son, how was it there? I asked. It was productive, and I even chose a name for the dire wolf, he said. And what is it? I asked. Fenrir, he said. Wow, is a great name, I said laughing. Let's wait, your father to eat. Okay, let's go outside behind the house, I have to show you something, he spoke. POV, Balin. Mom, you want to see my magic? I said, surprising the mother. Of course. She said quickly. I want to make a wind spear that doesn't have much power, so I call the wind to my hand and shape it with mana. The spear comes out of my hand, and hits the tree, destroying half of it. I look at my mother, and she is in shock again. Mom, wake up, ha 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 ha, I said laughing. Son, you're going to teach me this, right? Ha 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 ha, she said with her eyes shining. POV, Arthur. That was for sure very strong, ha 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 ha, I said laughing, looking at the two. The two of them startled, thinking that some person from the village. "Wu, it's you," said my son. "What you found, father, is strong enough for you," said Balin. "Of course, ha ha ha. POV, Balin. We are sitting and eating, and I finally need to talk to them about my adventures. Mom and Dad, we need to talk," I said almost inaudibly. "What's up, son?" they both asked. "I want to travel the world," I said almost inaudible. They stopped eating and looked at me. "Son, I knew this small village wouldn't hold," said my father in dismay. "Son, when will you leave the village?" Mom asked. "I will leave when you awaken the core, and when I teach you some spells. It will probably take 4 years for you to fully awaken the core." "Whew, what a scare, son, I thought you'd be gone sooner, ha 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 ha," said my dad laughing. I look at my mom, who is still thinking. "Balin," she said. "Yes, mother," I said looking into her eyes. "You will come back whenever you can, and when you go on a long trip, you will come back and let me know, okay?" she said, staring at me. "Yes, Mom," I said smiling at her. Chapter 9, Awakened Core. POV, Balin. 3 years later. It's been 3 years since I started training the elements and telekinesis. Mom and Dad are almost done with their core, I thought excitedly. It's been 1 week since I broke through the black core, into the dark red core. Remember that when I woke up, I was full of black goo. It's probably the impurities that the mana took out of my body. With my advancement, I became faster and stronger, I can hear farther and my vision improved a little. I look like a 15-year-old teenager being only 13, I'm 5 feet 7 inches, I got taller, my purple eyes combined with my long black hair made me look even more handsome. Fenrir has gotten even bigger, before he was almost 2 meters tall, today he is 2.30 meters tall. I feel that the lifespan has increased even more. If before a human in the black core had a lifespan of 150 years, with the red core a human has a lifespan of 300 years. I thought happily. My telekinesis, which before could carry 20 kilograms, after advancing I can easily carry 50 kilograms. I tested in the forest my speed and I can run at 60 kilometers per hour, I can jump up to 2 meters high, and I can carry at my max a 400 kilograms rock. Leaving my room, I see Mom and Dad in the kitchen, both of them are over 30 years old but because of the mana in their bodies they look 25 years old. "Dad, Mom tonight Tinta that you are ready to destroy their cores," I said with a smile. "Finally, I will be able to use powers, ha ha ha," said my father smiling. "Son, it's going to be safe, isn't it?" said my mother worried. "Of course, Mom, you won't have to go through the same thing I did. Before I didn't know what I had to do to control the core's mana, but today I know," I said smiling. When evening came, we went to the forest in a place I had prepared, far from trees and rocks. "You two, sit in lotus form as I explained. Do the same as every night, call the mana around the abdomen," I said. "Understand the mana under your belly button," I spoke quickly. Now on 1.2.3. I flew 10 meters but managed to stabilize myself, and ran towards them. I see the two sitting in a crater. "Ha ha ha ha, you did it, congratulations," I said smiling. The two open their eyes and look around, as I did when I woke up. "Go wash up in the river, I'll be waiting here." After a few minutes, the two appear in my vision, laughing and talking. I noticed that around them there is a jovial aura, and the mana around them seems more alive than before. "Hey, what do you think?" I asked laughing. "It's wonderful, I can see everything with more clarity," said Mom with her eyes shining. "It's beautiful, I feel more alive, with more energy and more strength," said Dad smiling. "The useful life for a black core person is 150 years and the useful life of the red core is 300 years," I spoke explaining. "Wow, all this," said the two. "Yes, and since you're about to learn, I'll teach you two the basics of the wind spear," I said. Close your eyes, imagine the wind concentrating in your hand, and use your mana to shape the wind into a spear. When ready, throw it into a tree. Boom! Boom! Well, that's it. If you want to make a spear of water, earth, or fire, you need to be close to that element. For example, Boom! The earth spear is the strongest of the elements, and you can use it everywhere. Wow, son, that's wonderful, said Mommy. Now, I want to see if you have telekinesis, I said. What is telekinesis, son? Asked Mom and Dad. It is the power of your mind. You can take objects with your mind, see, I said. I took a rock of 30 kilograms, and threw in the river. See, I said. Look at a rock near you, and imagine yourself lifting it. I said, looking at the two of them. After a few minutes, I realized that the maximum they can lift is 15 kilograms with your mind. We're done, how about going home? We better go, the sun is almost up, said Mom. Let's go, said Dad. Chapter 10, Leaving the Village. POV, Balin. /1 year later / It's been 1 year since Daddy and Mommy awakened their cores. They are stronger and faster than normal humans. Daddy sure could handle 5 men in armor if they were to fight him, and if he uses magic he could easily defeat them. As for Mom, she could also easily defeat 5 men in armor. Unlike Dad, who focuses on his sword physique, Mom uses her magic very well, such as trapping enemies on the ground with earth, elemental spears, and using telekinesis. I in a 1 year learned and perfected my magic. Now I can throw 2 spears of different elements at the same time. I can use mana to know where there are people I called. I learned to use soul to contact Fenrir. I also found a way to look at my statistics. I have to enter my soul, or the black space, and use plus my soul. The statistics appeared in my mind. It was hard to organize, but I did it. Balin. Age 14. Strength 2.3. Speed -2.4. Endurance -2,4. Mana, 22. Spells, Earth Spear LVL 3. Passive spell, Telekinesis LVL 3. Contracts, Fenrir. Now after training, I can give instructions to Fenrir. Father, Mother, I have arrived. I see my father and mother talking in the kitchen. I give the instruction to Fenrir to go to forest. After all, he can't fit in the house anymore. Hi son, how was it? Asked Mom. It was great, the training. I can now give instructions to Fenrir, I said. Wow, that's great son, said my father. As we sat there, I said. Guys, we need to talk. I'm planning to leave in a week, I said. They look at me and say. Son, then we go tomorrow, buy some backpacks, and new clothes, said Mom. Tomorrow we go shopping then, said my father, happy. Early morning. Come on, you need 1 backpack, 4 changes of clothes, a horse, 2 ropes, horse saddle. I think that's all, said Mom. I think that's all, I said. When I arrived in the central part of the village where the shops are, people were staring at me, probably because I'm very handsome. Dad went to find a horse and a saddle to buy. Me and Mom went to find a backpack, clothes, and ropes. Jumping through time. We get home, I see the horse Daddy bought. It's an all-white horse and a horse saddle with inscribed details. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom, for all this, I spoke with a wistful smile. Son, don't be like that, we will always be here, said Mom, smiling. Son, let's rest. Next week you have a long trip, said Dad. Entering the house, Dad asks. Son, where do you want to start your adventure? I want to pass through Winterfell, and buy a spear, then I want to investigate the wall, I said. /1 week later / I am in front of the house. I look at my parents. My mother is crying on my father's lap, and my father is crying too. Son, do not forget that we are here for you. I love you, son, said my mother, crying. Balin, be careful on your journey. I love you, son, said Dad, crying. I get on my horse. where my spear is already, the backpacks tied with the clothes and Fenrir following me. I look back and see the village where I lived. This will be a long and difficult adventure. Thanks to everyone who has read this far. Give me some suggestions for a last name for our MC. Chapter 11, Princess of the North. POV, Balin. It's been a few days, I left the village. I want to arrive in Winterfell in at least 1 week. In the morning I wake up and get ready and we start. The journey is like this every day. In the afternoon I send Fenrir to look for food for both of us, and at night I train spear and magic. I want to go to Winterfell, to buy maps, and forge a new spear. My old spear cannot stand my blows, based on the fact that each blow of mine carries 300 kilograms of pure strength. I also want a spear that can handle my magic. 4 days later. Today was a normal day. By my calculations Winterfell is 1 day away. From far away I can hear several horses galloping, and above a white horse I see a girl my age. She is certainly the most beautiful person I have ever seen. Further west I can hear several other horses, and I see that it is an ambush for that girl's train. I get off my horse, and look toward the battle that is taking place on the plain. POV, Miranda Stark / Princess of the North. We're trapped, we have to get out of here fast, I thought. My soldiers are being killed, I have to get out of here. I take my horse, and look at the lost battle, and ask the ancient gods to protect me. When I go out, look who's here, if it isn't the Winter Princess, daughter of King Stark, said their leader. What do you want? I can give you gold and jewels, but I need you to let me go. Let you go, ha 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 ha. He looks at me with lust. Let's play first, then we'll talk about gold and jewels, ha 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 ha, he said. When he is about to approach me, I hear, let her go and I'll let you live. I look back and see a young man about my age sitting on a white horse, with a huge black dire wolf at his side. He's one of the most handsome men I've ever seen, for sure. He jumps off his horse and stands 10 meters away from me, and the leader of the bandits. What will it be then? He asked. Ha 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 ha, boy, you have courage. While it's you and your wolf, I have more than 20 men by my side, he said, laughing. POV, Balin. This is my first time killing someone. If he is let loose, he will probably kill, rob and rape. Better finish him and his gang here, I thought. You asked for it, I said. I pinned the leader of the bandits to the ground with the earth element, and sent Fenrir to pick up the bandits around us. I threw my spear at the head of the leader, who soon exploded in blood. I conjured 2 that soon impale other bandits. I threw 2 more wind spears, which stopped the ones that were running towards me. I ran towards the rest of the bandits and cut their throats with a sword that was near me. Arriving at the girl, I see that she is in shock with what happened. She is covered in blood and mud. Are you all right, girl? I ask. She faints in my arms. That's great, at least she's pretty. I try to find my horse, and it seems to have fled with the confusion, so I call Fenrir. Fenrir, I will ride on your back. I know you do not like it, will only be when I need it, I said while looking into his eyes. And he just mumbles. Arriving at a river, I go down and put the girl on the ground, and try to wake her up. Hey girl, wake up, I said very close to her. POV, Miranda Stark / Princess of the North. I hear someone talking in my ear, I thought. I open my eyes and it's that person who saved me. He's staring at me, and I speak. Thank you for saving me, you can move away a little, I said looking at him who was almost on top of me. It's true, forgive me. My name is Balin, and yours, miss? He said smiling. My name is Miranda Stark, Princess of the North, I said. Wow, forgive me princess, I'm just a peasant, he spoke laughing. You killed more than 20 bandits with your dire wolf in 10 seconds and you're just a peasant, I said laughing. I look around, I see that my clothes are full of blood and mud, and a huge dire wolf looking at me. Stay calm princess, he doesn't bite, said Balin. Balin, where are you from? I asked. I'm from a small village with no name, he said, smiling at me. Because my heart is beating faster. Princess, if you want to wash yourself, there's a river 40 meters away from here. All right, thank you. POV, Balin. The princess has gone to clean herself up, now I have to go get my spear on the battlefield. Arriving at the plain where we had the fight, I see my spear on the ground among the bodies. I pick it up and see that it is in a very bad state. Returning to the place where Fenrir is, I see the princess going to try to pass her hand on Fenrir. I'm back, how are you, princess? I said, smiling at her. I see her jump in fright and she says. That's great, you can call me Miranda Apnes, she said with a smile. All right, I'm going to bed, is almost night, you should do the same, princess, I speak while I go lie down in the Fenrir. She looks at me and lies down with her head on a log, ha ha ha. You must not be very comfortable, that's not, princess, I said, laughing. Would you like to come beside me, I spoke almost inaudibly. Thump thump. My heart beat faster every moment. She looks at me with red face and speaks. All right. POV, Miranda Stark. The closer I get, the louder my heart beats. I look into those purple eyes of his and turn red with embarrassment. I get closer and lay down next to him. I see it's not just me who's embarrassed. Good night. Good night. POV, Balin. I wake up with princess hugging on my belly, my face automatically turns red. Princess, Amos, wake up, we have to leave, to go to Winterfell. More 20 minutes, she said. Miranda, it's me, Balin, I speak in her ear. She looks at me, her face red, and quickly gets up. 10 minutes later. Miranda, are you ready? Come on, I'm ready. Fenrir, come on, we have to go on you this time, I said, looking at Fenrir. Woof. I jump on Fenrir's back, and stare at Miranda. Can you do it? I asked. I don't think so, she said, laughing. Okay, you ask, I said, laughing. I use telekinesis to put Miranda behind me. Wow, how do you do that, she said, smiling. Magic, I spoke. You can teach me, right? She asked with stars in her eyes. No, I said with a serious tone. Hang on, this is going to be a long trip, I said, looking back. 6 hours later. From afar, I see a wall of 20 meters high, and I know I arrived in Winterfell. Miranda, I said. Hey, she speaks. I look back, and I see her holding on my back. We arrived in Winterfell, I speak. Chapter 12, King Aaron. POV, Balin. Reaching the wall, I see several soldiers running up to me and Miranda. I think I better surrender, I don't want to fight yet. Get out of the dire wolf, now. Leaping from Fenrir, I help Miranda down, the soldiers come and pin me to the ground, and Fenrir begins to growl loudly, threatening to bite the soldiers. I said, Fenrir, calm down, they won't hurt me. I do not know where Miranda went, he probably entered the castle. Passing through the wall, I see many people looking at us and, opening the way for me, the soldiers and Fenrir. Arriving at the main castle, the door opens and I see a handsome man with black hair. I see on his right side a woman who is probably the queen, she has green eyes and golden hair. On her right side I see Miranda, who stares at me. Let him go, king orders to let me go. The king stares at me and Fenrir and then speaks. My name is King Aaron, protector of the north, and the wall. Thank you for saving my daughter, boy, says the king. I have done nothing more than my job, my king, I said, kneeling. Well, you must be tired, boy, take him to a guest room, said the king. The guards guide me through the castle of Winterfell and realize that the runes scattered throughout its construction is wonderful. Bran the builder was certainly a great wizard or a great craftsman. Arriving at the room designated with Fenrir, is a room the conjugant strangely is not cold as imagined, probably has to do with the runes used to build this castle. I lay down on the bed and Fenrir on the floor, and soon realized that he has already slept, the trip must have tired him out. 6 hours later. OCD OCD OCD. I wake up with knocks on the door, and remember that I'm in Winterfell. Sir, the king requests your presence at the dinner table, your clothes are at the door, said someone behind the door. I get up and go to open the door, get my clothes and get dressed. My clothes are all black with details, I look like an aristocrat, I thought. Opening the door, I see a woman waiting for me and she speaks. The king awaits you. Being guided to a door, the woman opens and I see King Aaron in the main seat, to his right the queen, and to the left I see Miranda. Hi, sorry, the delay, I said smiling. No problem kid, you should be tired said the king laughing. No problem child, said the queen. Then let's eat said the king. As we ate the food, there was a silence all around the table. I looked sometimes at Miranda and we exchanged glances, pity that the king saw this. So Balin is your name, said the king. Yes, sir, I said. My daughter told me that you dealt with more than 20 bandits with your dire wolf, is that true? Asked the king. Yes, it's true, I said. And how did you do that, kid said the king staring at me. Magic he said. So it's true, I didn't believe it when I heard it from Miranda he said laughing. Because you have magic, do you use ritualistic magic? Asked the king angrily. No sir, I was born like this, I can use elements of all kinds, and I can communicate with animals I said hastily. I use mana to attract the fire of the torch, which is above the table, and mold it into the shape of a sword. You see, I say, but everyone is still looking at the fire sword. We talk some more, and the king asks that tomorrow I demonstrate more of my powers. As I leave, the king asks. Boy, do you want something as a reward for saving my daughter? Could you give me permission to enter the king's library? Of course kid ha 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 ha, I'll let you know that as of tomorrow you will be authorized. Thank you my king, I said gratefully. Walking to my room, I keep thinking about the runes, there's probably something about rune them in the library. Tomorrow will be a great day I thought happily. In the morning I get ready and put on the clothes that the woman left on my doorstep yesterday night. Leaving my room, the same woman as yesterday is waiting for me standing there, and speaks. I will guide you to the free field, she said. Arriving at the place, I realize that there was not this in the series, probably there was something that destroyed this place. From a distance I see the king fighting against 3 armored men, and they were still losing. Hi, sorry I'm late again, I promise I'll be back early tomorrow, I said laughing. No problem kid, said the king. So let's fight kid, said the king smiling, I think it must be because of Miranda and me. Of course, I said laughing. While the king is ready, I take my spear that the soldiers brought and get in position. Ready I said. The king starts advancing on me, with the cross-cut aiming at my chest, that I defend myself putting the spear in front of the blow, I advance cutting the spear horizontally that he defends himself kicking me in the rib. I fly 2 meters, and I stand up and look at the king, I run and jump in the air and cut with the spear aiming at his heart, he defends putting the sword in front of my spear that breaks in half. Wow boy, you are very strong for your age, how old are you? In 2 months, I will be 15 years old, I said. What do you want to do when you're older? He asked. I intend to travel the world, after Winterfell have plans to go beyond the wall I said smiling. POV, Miranda. What? You are crazy I yell to Balin. He turns around and speaks. It's my dream princess spoke Balin looking at me. Why, you don't stay in Winterfell I asked smiling. That's a great idea daughter said the king laughing at me. POV, King Aaron. My little daughter has already fallen in love, this boy has stolen her heart in less than 2 days. He better not break her heart or he will suffer. POV, Balin. The king and Miranda are staring at me, what do I say? I like Miranda and Winterfell, but it's my dreams, I still want to explore continents, have dragons, and build a place where I can live with my family, I thought with anguish. I've had an idea. I have plans to stay in Winterfell for a year, to find a spear for me, maps and other things, I said to both. Good boy, we'll have great battles, ha 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 ha, spoke the king. That's good for me too, said Miranda with a red face. That's great, I said. Chapter 13, Ancient Runes. POV. It's been a few minutes since the battle with the king ended, and I'm planning to go to the business to look at maps, and find a bird to tame. This bird will help me deliver letters and get information. I am also planning to go to the library to see if I can find anything about runes and ancient magic. The princess is willing to go with me to find what I need. When I get close to the gate, I realize that she has not yet arrived. 10 min later. Finally I can see someone coming. I see the princess with 2 other guards coming towards me. She wears a blue dress with white details. Sorry for the delay, she said. No problem. Going through the stalls, I see many different items, but the one that interested me most was a piece of metal that I feel some magic in it. Hello, can you tell me where you found this piece of metal? Who answers me is an old man who looks to be in his 60s. I found it near a dam, said the old man. Then, I was near a tree with a face, I thought. How much do you want for this metal? He looks at me and my clothes, and says. 1 gold coin, he spoke with a smile. How about 10 silver coins? I said. It's not too little, the old man says in a serious voice. It's a piece of metal, you won't find anyone who pays more than that, I said. All right, you win. Coming out of there I hear. You didn't pay too much, for this metal? Said the princess. No, I paid very cheap, I said, smiling. Because it's just metal, she said. It's not just any metal, this metal absorbs magic. After talking to Miranda about magic, I asked her to take me to a place that sells birds. This is it, she said. I see a place, away from the main business, a house that is already old, and almost falling down. Are you sure this is the place? I asked. Of course, you can trust me, she said, smiling. As we entered, I looked around us. I saw several birds in cages and some birds flying. In the center of the room, I see a lady with several animals around her. Hello, do you have birds to sell? I asked. The old woman looks at me and says. What kind of birds? I think and speak. Do you sell raven? Yes, do you want to see them? She said. Sure. Arriving at a room deeper in the house, I see several crows flying around the room. Some crows are black with moron stripes, some are totally black. Looking around, I pick out a totally black one which was looking directly at me. I want this one. I said. All right, go ahead and get it, said the old woman. Going to the main room, I see Miranda looking at me and says. Did you get any bird? Asked. Yes, I will get a raven, I said, smiling. You have a very strange taste, she said, laughing. Leaving the store with the raven, I also passed some clothing stores, which Miranda made me try each outfit in the store. In the end I chose a black overcoat, and some black and white clothes. Arriving at the castle, I said goodbye to Miranda, and went to store my things in the room. When I arrive, Fenrir jumps on me and starts licking me. After all, he is locked here for a few hours. Putting my things away in the closet, I leave with Fenrir towards the library. Arriving there, I see some guards on guard and speak. Hello, I'm Balin, the king allowed me to enter, I said. They just open the door, and go away. Entering the library, I realize that it is not very frequented. The library is huge, to find the runes will be difficult. Walking through the library, I realize that there is magic somewhere in it. Walking further ahead, I see a bookcase different from the others. This bookcase has runes engraved on it, and when I get closer I see the books that are on it. They are books in a language of the native Westeros language, and some are in languages that I cannot decipher. I take the books that I can understand, and take them to the main table in the library. Reading them I realize that they really are the runes. These runes are just the basic ones. In it are sharpening, endurance, fire enchantment. To use runes, in the book it says I have to use magic blood, and magic creature bones to write with the blood. I have to go beyond the wall to get these ingredients, I thought. Reading other books, I realize that more difficult runes require ingredients from more dangerous creatures, like ice dragons and mammoth bones. Chapter 14, Mom and Dad. POV, Balin. I have been studying runes from the Royal Library for 3 months now. In the mornings, I am training with the king, and in the afternoons, I am reading the books from the Royal Library. I have asked the king for a blacksmith that knows how to forge a sword for me, and I have also changed my main weapon from a spear to a sword. For my birthday, I received from the king and the queen an all-black sheath with details, and from Miranda, a red dagger with gold details. Miranda's birthday is in a month's time and I will have to buy something for her. I made a contract with a raven that I called Munin, and I can now pass commands to him. With the mana in his body he has developed an advanced intelligence of the other ravens. I am teaching him to deliver letters. Tomorrow I will send him a letter to my parents. I also trained my magic and my core. Now I can see other people's statistics. While training, I created new spells to use mana, like where I can heal wounds like cuts and something lighter. I probably have to reach higher levels to heal arms, fingers. I also created a spell called where I use mana to create a blue mana shield. Another element that I mastered in these months was the ice element. I need to be near a water source to manipulate it. I also created element flexes. I can play flexes of several elements at the same time. Balin. Age, 15. Height, 1.81. Strength, 2.7. Speed, 2.9. Resistance -2.9. Mana points, 30. Spells, Earth LVL3, Water LVL2, Fire LVL2, Wind LVL3, Ice LVL1, Mana Shield LVL1, Healing LVL1, Mana Pulse LVL3, Elemental Arrows LVL1. Passive Spells, Telekinesis LVL3. Contracts, Fenrir, Dire Wolf, Munin, Raven. I calculated that a LVL1 spell spend 1 mana point, LVL2 spell spend 2 mana to use, LVL3 spell spend 3 mana points. The telekinesis spells spend approximately 1 MP/section. Today I will go to the main market to find maps. I have plans to go to Wolfswood. I read in a book in the library that there were some battles there in the Age of Heroes. It also says that thousands of soldiers and creatures died there. The book did not specify what happened there, but it was probably a battle between the White Walkers and the human soldiers. While I was thinking about this battle, I heard someone coming. "Sir, the king calls you to dinner," said the soldier. "I'm coming," I said. Passing through the halls of Winterfell, I see Miranda and Fenrir playing in the hallway. She looks at me and says, "I was waiting for you, you just stay in that library," she said sad. "You know how much I like runes," I said smiling and went to hug her. While we were hugging, the door opens and I see the king looking at me with a look that would kill me if I had a sword. We separated and, sitting down in our seats. "So boy, what day will your sword be ready?" the king asked. "It will be ready in 2 days," I said. "What are you reading in the library?" asked the king. "I am learning to use runes," I said excitedly. The king looks at me, and is amazed at what I said. "The runes are very powerful, the wall of ice is all carved with them, this castle is also all marked with runes," said the king. "My armor is also carved with runes, but over time the runes stop working," spoke the king. "Have you found out how the runes are made?" asked the king excitedly. "Yes, I need magic blood, and bones from magical creatures," I said. The king looks at me thoughtfully and says, "You will find that only beyond the wall," said the king in dismay. We continued talking about magic and runes until the food ran out. As I was about to leave, the king asked. Do you need anything, boy? The king asks. I think and say. I need maps of Wolfswood Forest, could I borrow them? I ask. Of course, kid, after all I am king of the north, ha ha ha, said the king. Arriving in a small room, I see a few dozen maps on the tables. The king searches and finds a detailed map on a piece of leather. The king hands me the map and says good night. Arriving at my room, I begin to write to my father and mother. Hello mom and dad, it's me, Balin, how are you? I am currently staying with the king and queen. I saved their daughter from a group of bandits, and so the king let me stay here. In the morning I practice swords with the king, and in the afternoon I practice runes and magic. I am very happy with my progress, my room is good and the food is wonderful. May the ancient gods keep you, I love you. Balin. Chapter 15, Relationship. POV, Balin. I woke up in the morning with the sun beating on my face and illuminating the room. I see Fenrir sleeping on the side of my bed and Munin on the bed beside me. Before I get ready to go train with the king, I take the letter I wrote yesterday and tie it to Munin, and tell him to deliver it to my parents' house in the village. Getting ready to go training, I wake up Fenrir to go with me. Leaving my room, or going to the place where we train, I find the king already training with a doll. After training for 3 hours, I go to the library to study more runes and magic. One day later. Today I woke up excited. I will get my sword from the blacksmith, I hope it will be beautiful. Leaving the castle, I go to the blacksmith store. When I enter the store, a hot steam hits my face and there I see a short and bearded man. Hello old man, managed to finish my sword? Said smiling. This was the most difficult sword I have ever forged, the metal you gave me is the most resistant I have ever seen. May I see it? I asked. He takes out of the box, a black sword with a skull on its hilt, surely the most beautiful sword I have ever seen. When do I owe you? I asked fearfully. You don't owe me anything, the king has already paid, he said. I have to thank the king today at dinner, I thought. Arriving at the castle, it was already night, so it's almost time to dine with the king. Passing through the rooms and bedrooms, I arrive in the dining room and see the king sitting at the table and speak. I sought my sword, she is beautiful, I spoke in embellition. The king gets up quickly with his eyes shining to see the sword. Wow, what a beautiful sword, boy, I knew that piece of metal would be valuable, said the king. While we were talking about swords, the door opens and I see Miranda entering, and I speak. I want to go traveling to Wolfswood and I have plans to leave in 3 months, I spoke. The king and queen look at me with looks that already knew and Miranda with a sad look. Okay kid, I will train you to become stronger, said the king. Miranda looks at me with a sad look, deep down and she knew that this relationship would not work out. 1 week later. POV, Emma. I see a raven from my bedroom window. This bird seems to have something tied to it that's strange. Approaching the raven, he bends down and picks up the letter with his beak and hands it to me. Reading the letter, I realize that it is Balin's letter, so I shout to Arthur to read it with me. The more I read, the more I cry. My son met the king and lives with him and saved the princess of the north. My chest fills with pride. I decide to write a letter to Balin. I take a piece of deer hide and start writing. Hello Balin, this is your mother, your father, and I are very proud of you and your achievements. I hope you have fun. Here at home without you is very quiet and boring. I hope you come home to see us. Your father and I miss you very much. Come home safely, we love you. S. Mommy and Daddy. Chapter 16, Omniverse. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Carl Jung. equals 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 equals. POV, Balin. It's been 3 months since the letter from Mom and Dad arrived. I will leave tomorrow to go to Wolfswood. After a few months, I finally broke through the 3-point stats. Name, Balin. Age, 15. Height, 1,81. Strength, 3. Speed, 3. Resistance, 3. Mana, 31. Spells, Earth LVL 3, Water LVL 2, Fire LVL 2, Wind LVL 3, Ice LVL 1, Mana Shield LVL 2, Mana Pulse LVL 3. Passive spells, Telekinesis LVL 3. Contracts, Fenrir, Dire Wolf, Munin, Raven. With these stats I finally managed to beat the king. I will be sad to leave Winterfell as nice place to live. One day later I'm arriving at the king's hall. Opening the doors I see Aaron the queen and Miranda sitting at the table waiting for me. I'm leaving, thanks for the hospitality and care for me this time I was here, I said with a sad face. It was good while it lasted, boy, said the king. You can always come here whenever you want to, he said, looking at me with sadness and melancholy. I was one of the few friends she had. We went to the market and hunted in the forest when she was not studying. I come closer and say goodbye and give them a hug. Leaving the castle and the city of Winterfell, I jump on Fenrir with Munin flying and we head towards Wolfswood. 2 weeks later I am arriving at a small villa. According to the map I am 3 days away, so after some time in this world, I realized that I can no longer have my modern society mentality. People in this world are very cruel, and would kill you for a coin. Arriving at the villa I see that it is a small and poor villa. They live by hunting and fishing. I will see if there is a place where I can stay. Wherever I go, people look at me with fear. It is difficult to see a person with purple eyes who has a 2-meter wolf accompanying him. I approach a woman and ask, "Do you have a place where I can stay?" I ask. "I can give you a place to sleep for 1 silver," she said, shaking. "Here you go," I threw the coin. Arriving at the woman's house I see a small house, with a 6-year-old child at the door. "It's here," she said low. "What's your name?" I asked. "Joan, sir," she replied. "Could you show me where I can sleep?" I said. "Yes, sir," she said. While she was showing me around, the little boy followed us. "Mom, who is he?" said the boy. "He will sleep here tonight," she said quickly. "I'm sorry about him, sir," she said. "You don't have to be so scared, Joan," I said, smiling. "Yes, sir," she said. "I'm going to sleep, thank you for your hospitality," I spoke. Closing the door, I think about my trip and what I've been through so far. After Wolfswood, I will go to the wall, want to explore and see what was not shown in the book. Just thinking about it my blood boils. Out of the Omniverse. In a white room, a totally white person is thinking and laughing. Chapter 17, Bone Cave. Life is a constant process of dying. Arthur Schopenhauer. POV, Balin. Waking up I see Fenrir licking me to wake me up. I woke up to calm down, I said, laughing. Leaving the room ready to go, I see Joanna and speak. "Thank you for your hospitality," I threw a gold coin. "Thank you, sir," she said. Riding Fenrir, I pass by the houses of the villa and enter the forest. 3 days. Arriving in Wolfwood, I see trees bigger than normal and magic bigger than normal. The forest is ruled by House Blackwood, enemy of House Stark. According to the books of my world they were driven out by the kings of winter, but survived and even helped Aegon in his conquest. After a few hours in the forest, I see nothing but trees and animals. 5 days later. After a few days, I found an abnormal place with mana. I feel that the mana there is blood colored. When I arrive at the place, I see that it is a cave and I tell Fenrir to go to the forest, but I don't know what I will find. After a few minutes of walking inside the cave, I look ahead and see an image that I will not forget. Huge mountains of bones, skulls of dragons, mammoths, and wolves. Still staring in astonishment at all this, I approach the bones that seem to me to be human, and I see one in particular that seems to have abnormal mana. I see that it has a detailed ring, which looks like runes to me. Taking the ring off the skeleton, I put mana on the ring and get excited about what I see. It looks like a space ring, one of those romance novels of cultivation, ha 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 ha. The ring has 3 cubic meters, and inside it has only a map. Taking the map out of the ring, and opening it, I can see that it's a map to beyond the wall. I can also see a marking on the map. Putting the map away, I look around and see the bones I need most: dragon bones, mammoth and wolf bones, and giant spider legs. Some bones I don't recognize. I see bones that are even bigger than dragons. Leaving the cave with my space ring almost full, I call Fenrir to get out of there as quickly as possible. Writing Fenrir, I think it's time to re-evaluate things. One thing is certain, I am not in the canonical world of Game of Thrones. In the cave I saw bones hundreds of feet long, space rings. These things were never mentioned in the series or in the book. This world is getting harder and harder and more dangerous. I have to go back home, find mom and dad to talk to, and stay with them for a while. I have to find a safe place for them to stay, find somewhere they can stay where I don't have to worry. Thinking of some places, I rule out Winterfell as they are always at war with some house. I discard villas, they are mostly attacked by thieves. Thinking about some isolated island, then I discard Skagos as it is too close to the north and the wall. This will take a while, so I'll talk to them first to ask what they want. By my calculations, it will take 2 months to get back to my villa. Come on, Fenrir, I said, smiling. Chapter 18, Atlas. POV Balin. It's a month until I get to the villa. I've been through a few villages and bought new clothes and supplies. I am currently in the middle of the forest on top of Fenrir. Munin said there are 2 animals fighting ahead. Getting closer, I see that it is a bear and a dire wolf that are fighting. It seems I am too late. The dire wolf is dying and the bear wants to get the dire wolf cub. Since my parents do not yet have an animal, I will give this cub to them. The bear is 2 meters tall, the cub is only 50 centimeters, and the cub seems to have been born recently. I conjure an on the bear's belly that pierces it. The bear tries to run and falls to the ground. It looks at me angrily and roars. I conjure a wind spear and throw it at its head, making a hole of blood in it. I turn to the little wolf who is trembling and looking at me. Hey buddy, I'm not going to do anything to you, I said, walking over to him. He looks at me and smiles with fear in his eyes. I get closer and take him in my arms, and the little wolf shrinks and stays in my clothes. It is getting dark. I find a cave and make a fire with Fenrir and the little wolf by my side. Entering my soul room, I realize that there is something different and here in my mind. Loading complete starting at 1.2.3. Who are you? I asked doubtfully. I am the AI chip that the creator sent you along with your adventure. Why did you only appear now? I said. Because the creator only activated me now. So he's watching me? I asked fearfully. The creator is always watching everything. Are you loyal to him or to me? I asked in a serious voice. I am loyal only to my host. Okay, what are your duties? I asked seriously. I can help you with whatever you need. Like what specifically? Analyze and decipher, for example. What else? Figure it out on your own. Okay, what's your name? Please give me a host name. How about Atlas? I spoke smiling. Thank you, host. So you're like Chip AI from the novel Warlock of the Magus world? Yes host, the creator made me with the same specifications. Wow, so you're pretty badass, I laughed. Leaving the soul room, I find myself being licked by the little wolf and think I have to give it a name. As Fenrir is a name from Norse mythology, I think of the name Skull. Skull is white with black eyes, he seems to be happy with me and Fenrir, I hope he will be happy with mommy and daddy. Atlas analyze Skull I said. Analyzing. Name, Skull. Age, 20 days. Strength, 0.4. Speed, 0,3. Resistance, 0,3. Abilities. Atlas analyze my space ring. Analyzing. Will take 2 hours and 32 minutes to complete. Let me know when it's over. Yes host. I get up and wake Fenrir to start the journey, we still have 1 month to get home. 2 hours later. Analyze completed, want to see results. Show me I said. Age, 4.910 years. Space, 3 cubic meters. Materials, mithril, magical animals blood, runes. Runes? Probably mithril is the metal I used for my sword, the runes then are not the ones I studied in Winterfell. I said. I will have to go beyond the wall, to find out more about. Analyze me Atlas I spoke. Analyzing. Name, Balin. Age, 15. Lineage, high-level elven. Core stage, light red. Height, 1.81. Strength, 3. Speed, 3. Resistance, 3. Mana, 31. Spells, Earth LVL 3, Water LVL 2, Fire LVL 2, Wind LVL 3, Ice LVL 1, Mana Shield LVL 2, Mana Pulse LVL 3. Passive spells, Telekinesis LVL 3. Contracts, Fenrir, Dire Wolf, Munin, Raven. Looks like it now shows my lineage and my stage, this will make it easier. I'm so excited, only 1 month left to see my parents, I'll show the things I've earned from my trip I thought laughing. Chapter 19, The Summer Island. POV, Balin. I can see the villa from far away, I finally arrived, and after so long I finally get to see them. After a few minutes I arrive at the entrance of the villa, it is nighttime yet the small streets of the villa are crowded with people. They look at me and go into their houses, it seems they are not yet accustomed to my presence, and some small children look curiously at Fenrir. Arriving at home, I enter slowly, see that my mother is in the kitchen, and speak. Mom, I arrived, I said smiling. She looks at me and stares at me in surprise and runs to me. POV, Emma. My son, how long time I speak crying. You are so big and charming, I speak laughing. POV, Balin. Mom, how are you? I ask in a serious voice. I'm fine son, she said inaudibly. What happened, Mom? Can you tell me? I said worried. The villa boss wants us to leave, they saw us using magic and they are afraid, she said almost crying. Where's Dad? I said. He must be coming, I don't know where he went, she said. After a few minutes of talking with Mom, I hear footsteps entering the house, I see Dad entering with a face of tiredness, but when he looks at me soon loses this tiredness and jumps on me. Hi Dad, miss you, I said laughing. My son did not know you had returned, he said laughing. I just arrived, I said. Where were you? Said Mom angry. I was talking to the head of the villa, he said angrily. He doesn't want us to stay in the villa anymore, they see us as monsters. He said. How about we rest and talk tomorrow? You two are tired. I said. Good idea, said both. I hug them both for a few minutes and go to the bedroom to sleep. I send a command to Fenrir to go sleep in the forest with Skull, tomorrow I will introduce Skull to both of them. Next day. I wake up with the sun beating down on my face, and remember that I am home, go to the kitchen, and see Mom and Dad talking. Looks like you finally woke up, said Dad laughing. I was tired, for 3 months I slept on the floor, I said. Let's talk, I said with a serious tone. The head of the villa wants you to leave, isn't it? I said. Yes, he gave us 3 days to leave, said the father. Let's talk in the forest, I have something to show you both, I said. After walking in the forest for 20 minutes, I found a nice place. We sat on rocks and began to talk. Son, tell me what you found, said Dad excitedly. I take a flat stone and open the map on top of it. After leaving Winterfell, I go to Wolf's Wood. There I find a cave full of bones, some small and some with hundreds of meters, I said with a serious tone. Hundreds of meters, said the two, frightened. Yes, so we have to stay strong, and find a safe place for us all to live, I said. Coming back home, I found Skull. I spoke smiling. Who is Skull? Asked his mother. You can come, I said to Fenrir. The two come, Fenrir and Skull coming. A black wolf with more than 2.50 m and another white color has only 1 meter. Skull comes running to me and licks me, and Fenrir comes walking calmly. This is Skull, his mother died while fighting with a bear and I found him and brought him as a gift for the two of you. The eyes of the two begin to shine with passion. He's so cute, said Mommy and Daddy taking him from me. Skull begins to lick them both and bite them. It seems that he will adapt well. Back to the point, I said. The two look at me attentively, and I tell Skull to go back to Fenrir, who is lying on a rock. In the cave, I found a ring on a skeleton. This ring is different from others, I said. Different how? Asked Dad. I sent a command for the ring to drop all the items on the ground in front of us. Many bones of different sizes appear in front of us and they both look at me. I want one, said both, laughing. When I know how to make them I will make them for you guys, ha ha ha, I said. Keeping the bones in the ring again, I open the map again to decide a place for our next home. Let's decide where we're going to move, I said with a serious tone. The places I thought of were Skagos, Summer Island, Ibn. Those are the places away from people, where we can live quietly, I said. Son, what is the most ideal place? Asked Dad. Son, your opinion is very important now. Your father and I don't know how these places are. My choice is Summer Island. According to what I read in Winterfell, there are no people living there yet. The islands are huge and this is one of the most remote and safe places we have, I said to both of them. Then let's go there, said both of them. The island is still uninhabited according to what I read in my previous world. People came there fleeing from them. I still have time to conquer it. I have to do something with these bones. They are taking up too much space in my ring. I'm thinking of burying them in the forest and marking them on the map. I'll need room to store Mom and Dad's stuff. Son, we need to talk, said Mom and Dad. What is it? I said, smiling. Your mom is pregnant, said Dad, smiling. What? I said, shocked. Yes, son, I'm pregnant, spoke Mom, smiling. That's great, I said. Are you sure you want to continue? I said, worried. The trip will be long, I said. Son, we have to continue. We need to find a place where your sister or brother were safe, said Dad. Okay, let's go. Let's get ready to leave in 2 days, I said. It's a deal, said both. Chapter 20, White Harbor. POV, Balin. After our conversation, I went further into the forest to bury the bones. I found a nice place with rocks and a lake. I measure in Fenrir and we go towards home. Arriving there I see Dad talking to another man who I see is Uncle Alex. Oi uncle, it's been a long time, I said, going towards him. Hello boy, you're almost my size, ha ha ha, he said. Yes, in a few years I get there, I said, smiling. Dad, did you pack your things? I asked. Yes son, I packed my things, he said. Son was talking to Alex and he wants to come along with us, said Dad, looking at me. If I take Uncle Alex, I will have to talk about magic and teach him a few things. he can also help Dad when I am away. I thought. Who else will go? I asked. Me, Maria and my son, I promise we won't bother you. Uncle, how old is your son? I asked. Brandon is 15 years old like you said, Uncle, smiling. So we agreed, you will go and be ready in 2 days, I said to him. Dad, do you trust Uncle Alex? I asked Dad. He and I grew up together, son, you can trust him, said Dad. Do you think I should talk to him about magic? I asked. Son, in this world, no one can survive alone, you have to make allies sometimes, said Dad. You're right, I said. 2 days later. We are all gathered at home, Uncle Alex, Aunt Maria, Brandon, Dad, and Mom. We are all sitting around the table. I take out the map and lay it on the table. This is our route. We will take a ship in White Harbor, travel a few months, and stop in Sharp Point to get more resources. From there we will go to Tyrosh, where we will refuel and stop in Liss. In Liss, we will buy a ship, and from there we will go to Summer Island. The journey by my calculations will take 1 year. That's a long time, said everyone. That's the price for wanting to be safe. I spoke with weight. We're leaving in 20 minutes, people, this will be a long and tiring journey, trust each other, I said. 20 min later. We are in front of the villa, I am mounted on Fenrir, and the rest of the staff are on horseback. Dad told Uncle Alex and his family about my ring. I'm keeping all their belongings. After I removed all the bones, the ring now has plenty of room. Come on guys, I said. I am at the front of the group with Fenrir. Skull is on Daddy's lap. Mommy has to be careful because of the baby, so Munin is watching her flying. Atlas, please calculate how long it will take us to get to White Harbor at our speed. I asked. Calculating. It will take exactly 1 week and 3 days. That's good, I thought it would take us longer, I thought. 1 week and 3 days. I see from a distance a town a little larger than our villa. I tell the people to slow down. Arriving in town, people look at us with respect and fear. It is difficult to see someone riding a 2.5 m tall dire wolf. It is a clear day, the streets are crowded, and from afar I see the port and say, "Guys, come on, we have to find a boat," I said in a hurry. Arriving at the port of ships, I tell Uncle Alex and Dad to go sell the horses, we will not be able to take them with us. I get off Fenrir and go towards a fat man who seems to be the owner of the ships and speak with a cold tone. "Take me to the biggest ship you have." He looks at me and looks at my mother and Aunt Maria with lust and says, "Only if you let me play with them," he says, almost drooling. I turn to my mother, who is about to conjure a wind spear, and Brandon is pulling his sword from its sheath, and speak. "Let me take care of the pig," I said. I pick him up by his face and lift him off the ground as if he were made of paper, throw him to the ground, and speak. "You will show me the ship or not, pig?" I speak with a cold tone. "Yes sir," he says with resentment in his voice. "The fat man leads us to a large and beautiful ship," he says. "This is the largest we have, has 5 rooms and 2 rooms for workers, can carry up to 20 people," said the man. "How much is it for me to rent it to Sharp Point?" I asked. "It will cost you 200 coins, said the man with a smile. "The king gave me 250 coins when he leaves Winterfell, which could easily feed 2 generations of ordinary people." I thought. "Okay, here are your coins." I threw a bag of coins to the fat man. "Thank you, have a nice trip," said the man laughing. Aunt Maria, Mother, and Brandon get on the ship and see if everything is correct. I will buy food and supplies for the trip, and Brandon take care of them. "You can leave it to me," he said laughing. They were fine, my mother can conjure 10 elemental spears. I see the 3 climbing on the ship and going to the market. I asked Fenrir to go along with Mom and Skull. I don't want Mom to struggle. Arriving at the market, I remember that I have only 50 coins, go to a place that sells a lot and start buying, buy fruits, lettuce, all kinds of meat, and 20 barrels of fresh water. all purchases gave 40 gold coins. It is almost night, so I ask the owner of the market to take my purchases before dawn because I want to leave before the sun rises. Arriving at the boat, from afar I see Dad and Mom talking on the deck of the boat. I run and jump behind them. Did you like the jump? Ha ha ha, I said. Wow Balin, this was nice, ha ha ha, said Dad. Balin, did you buy? Asked Mom. Yes I did, I asked the owner of the market to bring it before sunrise, I told her. You two can go to sleep, I'll stay here to see if he arrives earlier. Thank you son, Mom is tired, I will go to bed, said the mother. Son, I will take your mother to rest, if you need something let me know, said Dad. Atlas, show me the status of my mother. Analyzing. Name Emma. Age, 36. Height, 1,76. Strength, 2,2. Speed, 2,4. Resistance, 2,4. Mana 23. Spells, Earth LVL2, Water LVL1, Fire LVL2, Wind LVL3. Passive spells, Telekinesis LVL2. General, she can defend herself against up to 10 people fully equipped with armor. Due to her being 2 months pregnant, if she fights, she risks losing the baby. MP equals mana points. So mommy can't fight anymore, I have to warn daddy, to keep an eye on her from now on, I thought. Atlas, show me the damage that each spell does. Analyzing. A level 1 spell, that can pierce wood and kill small animals. A level 2 spell, that can pierce stones and kill boars and some wolves. A level 3 spell, that can drill metal and kill dire wolves and bears. With 2 LVL3 spear spells, you can destroy even a small car. Wow, I didn't know they were so destructive, I thought. From a distance I see 5 horses carrying food and barrels of water. You were kind of fast, buddy, I said with a friendly tone. You paid dearly, said the man, laughing. After helping the men to load the things onto the ship, I go to the meats and vegetables and fruits and store in my ring, there they will not spoil. I'm going to sleep, I have 5 hours left before sunrise, tomorrow will be a long day. Chapter 21, Dangerous Sea. POV, Balin. I wake up and see that the sun is coming up, I only slept 4 hours. Getting up from bed, I rinse my face with water and go towards the door on the deck. Passing through the door I see an old bearded man who seems to have about 70 years and ask. Who are you, sir? The man looks at me and says. Nice to meet you, I am the captain who will take you to Sharp Point. He spoke in a friendly tone. Nice to meet you, could you tell me what time we will leave? I said. The time you want, sir, he said. My name is Balin. What is your name, sir? My name is Arvid, sir, he said, lowering his head. Arvid, can we leave in 20 minutes? I asked. Sure. Atlas, show me his status. Analyzing. Name, Arvid. Age, 71 years old. Height, 1,74 m. Strength, 1,1. Speed, 1,1. Stamina 1,1. General, a great aviator, he worked more than half his life on ships, a sympathetic man but merciless with his enemies. Arvid, please arrange the ship for us to leave, okay? I said. Yes, sir. 20 minutes later. Sir, the ship is ready, can we raise the sails of the ship? Asked Arvid. Yes, please, I said. Hello son, how are you? Turning around I see that it is the father and speak. Yes father, everything is fine, I am with Arvid preparing the ship for us to leave. I said. You have not met, Arvid is our captain, you will see him later, I said. Okay son, said Dad. After Arvid released the sails of the ship, we went to where he was, I introduced my father and they started talking. We are currently leaving White Harbor. After leaving White Harbor, Dad, Uncle Alex and Arvid are talking and I talk. Arvid, what are the beings that we will encounter on our way? I asked. The mood becomes having and he speaks. In my travels by sea, I have encountered many strange animals like kraken, leviathans, fishmen, sea worms and the most dangerous tontadoos. He spoke. Can you tell us how they are? I asked. Sure, he said laughing. The kraken are mostly up to 10 meters long, they only attack ships when they are hungry, their skin is hard like wood, only swords can cut it, and arrows don't work. I have only seen one leviathan in my life, it was over 80 meters tall, its lower part was tentacles and its upper part was fish-man. They mostly stay on islands in the open sea. He said in a scared voice. The fishmen are the ones you have to watch out for, their sole purpose is to kill and destroy, they love human flesh, they are at most 1.70 m tall, their weakness is fire, and their skin can only be cut by a sharp sword. We don't know where they come from, he said in a sad voice. Have you lost someone to them? He looks at me and says. My daughter and my wife 20 years ago, they attacked the port in packs, they tore my daughter and wife apart and then ate them. Coming back he spoke. The sea worms, they love human flesh, they look like cockroaches, only giant and with teeth. They're mostly 1.2 meters long. They mostly stay in the open sea, said Arvid. The tontadoos are different from Leviathan, I have seen many, and when you see one just accept your death. They are more than 30 m tall and at the bottom, they have a tail and at the top, they have a huge mouth that can swallow whole men, their skin is as hard as metal, there are reports that only one tontadoo was defeated, which was in a city in Estus. He spoke with even more fear. They like to attack ships and when they attack coastal towns they go in packs. He said. How did you survive when you were attacked? People have learned that they don't have good eyesight and smell, so they throw themselves off the ground and cover themselves with dirt, or even feces, and also you can't make noise, they have very good hearing. He spoke with fear. After we talk some more, he goes to his room and takes pictures of the creatures and shows them to us, and I think. This changes everything, my strength is still not enough, how will I protect my family from the tontadoos and the leviathans? Atlas, what is my chance of beating these animals? I asked Atlas, analyzing. According to my estimations, you could defeat with your current mana and fitness, 6 krakens, but also using your sword you would defeat 3 more before dying. With your current mana and skill, you would die when confronting a leviathan. With your current mana and skill you would defeat 20 fishmen and 15 more using the sword. With your current mana and aptitude you would defeat 1 tontadoo using magic and could not use a sword because he is too tall. Remembering that these are just estimates, and host possibilities. I'm fucked. Did you say something, son? No, nothing. Chapter 22, Sophie. I'll tell you a big secret, my dear. Don't wait for the final judgment. It comes true every day. Albert Camus. POV, Balin. We have been sailing for a week, nothing unusual has happened to us. From far away I see 3 ships coming towards us, they must be ships that carry food. I looked at the ships and realized that this was a battleship and not one that carries food, and then I said, people, it seems that we have company, we have 3 battleships coming to prepare for battle. I see Dad, Uncle Alex, and Brandon begin to prepare for battle. Maria takes my mother inside the ship, she is not in the condition and fights. Atlas tells me how many people are on that ship. Analyzing. In all 3 ships, there are a total of 30 men, and a child and a woman as hostages. What are my chances of winning? You have a 90% chance of winning the battle. Father, my plan is not to let them get near the ship, I will take care of them myself, just take care of our ship so that it is not damaged, I said. Son, this is too risky, he spoke with concern. Dad, I can do it, trust me, I said smiling. Okay son, be careful. I see the 3 ships that are 20 meters away from us, the ship's men fire arrows at us and I create a. I jump off my ship, and land on the ship on left side, I look at the men who are scared, I take my sword from the ring and cut the first man in front of me. The other men come running up to me, and start trying to cut me. I cut the man's head in two and dodge the sword behind me. I conjure that goes through 2 men who fall dead. Missing 6 men, I put the sword on the ground and take out the dagger that I got as a gift from Miranda. I turn around and cut the wrist of the man who tried to cut me when his back was turned. He drops the sword. I pick it up and cut his throat. I pick up my sword on the ground, and point it at the other men and say, "Who tell me, the person who sent you I will let live," I said smiling. The men look at me scared, they never saw someone kill 5 men in 20 seconds. "Fuck you," said a man running towards me. I take my sword, and cut his arm that carried the sword, and before the cut arm reaches the ground, I cut his head. "Someone else," I said with a cold look. "I will give 10 seconds, I said. I look at the men and one lets go of the sword and speaks. "A fat man hired us to kill the men and kidnap the women who were on his ship," said the man. "Do you know if the captain of the ship was involved?" "No," the fat man said, "to kill the old man. He said that the old man is vengeful," said the man. "Thanks for the information," I said. I conjure a water spear and make a hole in his heart, take my sword and go out cutting the defenseless man who dropped his sword on the ground. "You said you would spare me," said the man dying. "Look on my side, if I were weaker, you would have kidnapped and killed my family. You are not innocent, you killed many people," I said looking into his eyes. Jumping onto the next ship, the men look at me like I'm a monster, after all they've seen me kill and destroy a boat in 1 minute. "If you surrender, I will give a less agonizing death," I said looking at them. "Fuck you," I see 7 men running at me. I cut the first man in 2, and threw my sword through 2 men, killing them almost immediately. From my right I see a big man running with a hammer. I take my dagger from my belt and dodge the hammer that falls at my side. When he was reaching for the hammer, I cut his throat and he falls dead at my feet. The men who were coming to me look at me with fear. I am in black clothes full of blood. I look at them and speak. "You who chose," I said. I pick up my sword from the ground and start to cut the men, who begin to fall dead before they realize it because they are tormented. I look at the 3 who chose to surrender and speak. "You do or I do." I spoke with a cold tone. 2 kill each other and a large man is left, who begins to rave. "It's not personal, you would kill my family, and you would do the same thing if you were in my place," I said. He shakes his head and I cut him off quickly. I look at the last ship, the men on the ship begin to kill each other, some throw themselves into the sea, others kill themselves with their own swords, jump on the boat and make it rock. I look at the last person left and he starts talking and stuttering. "Please don't kill me, I'll do anything you want," said the man. "There's nothing I want, that you can get," I spoke with a cold tone. "Please." Before he finished speaking, I cut off his head. "Atlas, scan the ship and tell me if there's anything useful." Scanning. Ship scanned, found 1 person alive in the hold of the ship. Entering the ship with a cold face, I hear a child crying, entering the room where the child is. I see that it is a 5-year-old girl with green eyes and golden hair. She is wearing only rags covering her injured body. She looks at me and starts crying, even more. I am scared, my body is covered in blood. "Girl, I'm not evil, I came to save you," I said smiling. "I don't believe you," she said shouting. "Look, I know you must have suffered a lot, I'm here to save you, come with me to my ship and I'll give you food and shelter," I said looking into her eyes. "Promise you won't do anything," she said crying. "I promise," I said. Walking to her, I hug her and go to the door that leads to the deck. "Don't open your eyes." She said. I jump off the enemy ship and land on my ship. I see my father, Uncle Alex, Brandon, and Arvid looking at me scared. The girl opens her eyes and sees the ship and the men who imprisoned her burning and sinking in the sea and starts crying and sobbing on my shoulder. I stay silent and go to the end of the ship and sit there with the girl. "Hey Kin, stop crying, you're already out of there," I said. She looks at me and hugs me even tighter. Why were you there? I asked. My parents sold me to those men, my family was starving and my father chose to sell me to them, even though they were evil, she said crying. You're not going to sell me, right? She said. I look at her, with pity and anger at the people who sold her. How could anyone sell an innocent child to these men? No, you're safe, I said. She looks at me with emotion and at the same time sad. You will not abandon me, right? She spoke with crying face again. Don't be quiet, I spoke smiling. Getting up, I speak. Come on, I have to take a shower, I'm full of blood, and you stink, girl, I said laughing. Hi 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 hi, she starts to laugh. Reaching the others, they tell me. You did well there, son, they did not deserve your mercy, said my father. You did well, kid, as your father said, they do not deserve your mercy, said Uncle Alex. Arvid and Brandon still look at me stunned and wanting to fight, and my father says. Son, who is the little girl? Said father. What's your name, little girl? Asked dad. My name is Sophie, she said. What a pretty name. My name is Arthur, father of the person next to you. She looks at me and pulls my clothes. What is your name? She spoke almost inaudibly. My name is Balin, I spoke smiling. You too, go take a shower, you're stinking, said dad. Balin, go take a shower, I'll take the little girl to her mother, said dad. Sophie begins to cry and curls up in my clothes. Dad sees this and understands that she is still traumatized. Let's go, Sophie, I said. Arriving at my room with Sophie, my room has a big bed and a bathtub. This water is fresh water that I bought in White Harbor. When I was taking off my clothes, I saw that Sophie was already in the bathtub playing with bubbles. I got closer and grabbed the soap, and began to rub her head and hair. After a few minutes of bathing, I take her out and dry her off. I take one of my blouses and cut it to fit her, and I take a pair of pants and also cut them. I tell Sophie to wait on the bed while I take a bath, but I see that she's handling my sword and dagger. After bathing, I lay down and called her. Sophie, now it's time to sleep. Tomorrow we will find a good outfit for you and tomorrow we can play something, okay? I said smiling. Yes, she said while smiling. Promise that this is not a dream, she said. I promise, I said laughing. Chapter 23, New Cores. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. Sigmund Freud. POV, Balin. Waking up, I see Sophie hugging my arm, and I speak. Sophie wakes up, we have to wake up for coffee, I said, touching her hair. She wakes up and looks at me, she seems to remember what happened yesterday and says. Good morning. Good morning, Sophie, I said. Did you sleep well? I asked. Yes, she said. Sophie, do you want to be my daughter? I asked. She looks at me with amazement and happiness, she hugs me and starts to cry. I console her and tell her that she doesn't need to be afraid anymore. Going out to the deck of the ship, I see everyone eating and talking. I arrive and start talking to everyone. I need to tell them that I will adopt Sophie, and Dad and Mom will probably be happy. People, I need to say something, I said in a loud voice. You can speak, son, said Mom. I will adopt Sophie as my daughter, I said happily. What? Don't you like it? I said in a sad voice. No, son, we like it, we were just scared, said Mom and Dad. So I've become a grandfather, said Dad laughing. Also another thing, I spoke with you serious. I found out, the person who sent the ships to us, I said. Who was it? Asked Dad. It was the fat man from the White Harbor, he wanted to kill us and kidnap us, I said. He probably wanted revenge for me skinning his face on the ground. So, we need to get stronger and more powerful, so I will ask Dad to teach you the mana technique, but first you have to swear an oath that you will never tell this technique to anyone, I said. Do you accept? I asked. Yes, thank you, said Uncle Alex, Aunt Maria, and Brandon. That includes you, Arvid, are you willing to be part of this group? I asked. That's an honor, sir, thank you for granting it to me, he said. So let's get started. The oath works like this: an atlas invades the soul room of the people I choose and makes a forced contract. This only works if the person is willing. Are you willing to take the oath? I asked. Yes, everyone answers. Now Atlas. Making contract. Contract established. Okay, now you can go train the technique with my father. Father, teach them, please, I asked. Don't worry, son, leave it to me. According to my calculations, it will take 3 years for their cores to be ready. I have to do something for them to go faster. I thought. Atlas, find a more effective way, so they go faster. Analyzing. You can make a rune circle to attract mana, using the runes you learned in Winterfell. For this you will need magic blood and wood capable of holding mana for you to write. Father, I will investigate the ship left over from yesterday's attack, then we'll leave, okay? I said. Okay, son. Walking to the end of the deck, I concentrate my mana in my legs and put the maximum strength I can run and jump probably 10 meters. Falling on the ship, I see the corpses and walk straight towards the hold. Arriving there, I see a locked door with chains. I kick the door, which breaks easily. Entering the room, I see some chests and start to open them. In the first trunk, there were only clothes and cards. In the second trunk, there were some gold coins and iron ingots. The third trunk, I am impressionin, has some bones and books. Opening the books, I see that it is ritual books, which I keep in the ring to see later. Atlas, scan the bones. Analyzing. Fishman bones, little mana on the bones, more you can still use on the runes. Can I replace the wood with the bones? Yes. Bingo. Looking around, it looks like it's the last one. My instincts tell me there's more. So I use the which shows me the hidden things. On the floor in a secret compartment, I find a bow bigger than all the 3 I had found. I take the big bow out of the compartment and open it. When I open it, I see that it is several vials of blood and a letter. I take the letter and start to read. After reading the whole letter, I realize that these vials of blood are of Fishman. This shipment was going to Karth, one of the oldest and most prosperous cities in the known world. According to the letter, this blood was to make a ritual. Do I have enough Atlas to make the rune circle? I asked. Yes, with these bones and blood, it will be enough to make several rune circuses, sir. How much time will I save to form the cores? I asked. Unknown, I'll only know when the circles are ready. Putting everything in the ring, I go out to the deck of the ship and jump into my ship. I see that Dad is teaching them, and I speak. Dad, I found a way for them to form the nuclei faster. That's great, son, how is it? He asked. Then I teach you, it involves runes, I said. I will be in the hold of the ship, I said. Arriving at the ship's hold, I put the boxes in a corner and take out the blood and bones. Atlas, what do I do now? You will take a bone, and dip it in blood, concentrate your mana on the bone and start drawing the in the shape of a circle. Okay. After doing this for hours, my mana has run out, but I complete 2 circles of mana. Atlas, calculate how much time they will save. Analyzing. They will save 2 years. Wow, so in how long will they get their core done? It is estimated that they will complete it in 6 months. That's great, I said, smiling. Going to my room to sleep, I see Sophie sitting in the doorway in her new clothes and speak. What is my princess doing out here in the cold? I said, taking her and hugging her. I'm waiting for Daddy Donkey, she said sadly. I was in the basement. When it is like this, you can go lie down, okay? I said, hugging her. Yes. What did you do today? I asked. Grandma made me a new outfit. Did you like it, Daddy? She said, smiling. Sure, I love it. Let's go inside, it's starting to get cold, I said. Entering the room, I change clothes and lay down with Sophie. Good night, Daddy. Good night, Princess. Chapter 24, Sharp Point. What does not cause my death makes me stronger. Friedrich Nietzsche. 3 months later. POV, Balin. After 3 months, I finally saw the port of Sharp Point. Sharp Point, founded after the Andal invasion 2000 years ago, was conquered by the warlord Togarayan Bar Emin, who established his kingdom in Massey's Hook. My mom is 5 months pregnant, and during this time she and Sophie have been playing a lot. Skull is huge too, he is almost 1,90 meters tall and Sophie likes to play on top of him. Fenrir has grown too, he's 3 meters high and seems like he won't stop growing, he's very moody and Sophie prefers to play with Skull. Uncle Alex, Aunt Maria and Brandon are training almost all day in order to get their course as quickly as possible. Arvid trains only at night because he has to pilot the ship. In these 3 months, Mom and Dad have reached the light red stage like me, and by talking to Atlas, I have found out that I need something to get me past the light red stage, and we haven't found it yet. In these 3 months, we were attacked twice by fishmen, and we managed to defeat them easily, but Arvid said there were few of them this time. Arriving at Sharp Point, soldiers told us to get off the ship, so I took Sophie and got off the ship with Skull and Fenrir behind me. The soldiers look at us with fear and respect. We walk off the ship while they search the ship. After they searched it, they released us and let us roam freely in the city. Mom and Sophie, stay on the ship with Skull and Fenrir, I said. Dad and Uncle, you will go after meat and fresh water. Aunt Maria and Brandon, you will go after fruits and vegetables. I'll go look for armor and new swords for you, okay? I asked. Yes. After we all enter the city market, I realize that someone is following me, a man in black clothes, probably a spy for the ruling family of the city. I will not do anything, do not want to get into trouble again. When I arrived at a gunsmith store, I entered and saw a man with black hair and a black beard, and he asked me. What can I do for you, sir? He asked. I want armor, and new swords of the highest quality that you have, please. Please follow me. Following the man, he leads me to a room full of armor with beautiful, sharp swords. I need 6 new armor and swords, I also want leather armors. This will be expensive, sir, are you sure? Said the man with concern. After I searched that ship, I found a trunk full of gold coins, I have more than 500 coins in my ring. Don't worry, I have enough money. I said. Sir, we only have this kind of armor for women, he said. This armor is beautiful, I said looking at her. How many will you want, sir? He asked. I'll have 2 of those, I said. Do you have any males? I asked. I have this armor, sir, I'm sure you'll like it. Wow, I'm sure they'll like it, I thought. Please give me 5 of these, sir, I said. Sir, I only have 4 of those, the man said. After looking around the store, I saw a suit of armor that I'm sure is the most beautiful armor I've ever seen, and I asked. How much do you want for this? I asked with shining eyes. Sir, this is very special armor for me, my grandfather found this armor in a cave while exploring, I want 200 gold coins for this armor, he said. Can it be cheaper? I asked. No, he said. A common sword, you cannot even make a scratch on it, I do not know the material the only material that is similar to it are produced only in Essos. I'll take it, I said. Please show me, leather armor, I said. The women's are these, and the men's are these, he spoke. I will take 2 for women and 5 for men, I said. Do you have any spears for children to train? I asked. Yes, I have wooden and iron spears, which one do you want? The man asked. I'll take both, I said. After walking to the cashier, all the armor and swords gave 550 gold coins. After putting the armor in the space ring, I went towards the ship. Arriving at the ship, I see a guard being beaten by Arvid, and I ask. Arvid, what happened? Sir, This man wanted to blackmail your mother, to give more gold coins than is due, he said. Thank you Arvid, let's go inside now. Yes sir. Entering the ship, I see Sophie playing with Skull, and sitting mom is sitting on a bench watching Sophie. Sophie sees me and runs up to me screaming. Daddy, you finally came, where were you? She said. My daughter was buying armor for us, I said. For me too, she said with her eyes shining. No princess, I said laughing. Ah daddy, what will you give me in return? She said. How about a spear? I asked. Yes, she said jumping. Armor I'm. Leather armor I'm. Swords I'm. Balin armor I'm. Iron and wooden spears I'm. Chapter 25, New Lineage. He who fights with monsters must take care that in doing so he does not also become a monster. And if you look for a long time into an abyss, the abyss also looks into you. Friedrich Nietzsche. POV, Balin. After I deliver the spear to Sophie, I see them coming with the shipment of vegetables, fruits, and meats. I help them put it on the ship. I call them to see the swords and armor. Are these all for us? Asked Aunt Maria. Yes, these are for the men, and these are for the women, I pointed. Wow, they are beautiful, said Mom. Each one gets his armor, and takes it to his room, I said. Son, where is yours? Asked Dad. Taking the armor from the ring, I show him and tell him the story behind it. Arvid, we will leave tomorrow morning, okay? I asked. Sir, where are we going after here? He asked. We'll go to the city of Lys, I said. Is this the new city founded by the white hair? Asked Arvid. Yes, I said. Probably the Valyrian Empire is already starting, the war will spread all over Essos in a few years. The Giscari Empire, the biggest ruler of Essos, will try to make opposition but will succumb to the Valyrians. The symbol of the Giscari Empire was a harpy, the head and torso of a woman, with bat wings, eagle legs with claws, and scorpion tail. I probably have 100 years, to get stronger and build a safe place for my family. Giscari Empire is the oldest civilization in the world that can support its claims of being older with reliable written records. These records provide proof that the Giscari Empire actually predates the Long Night disaster 3,000 years ago, although at the time it was still only in its infancy. Yi also claims to be the oldest civilization in the known world, but he cannot support this claim, because his surviving written records only begin a little after the end of the Long Night. I probably have 100 years, to get stronger and build a safe place for my family. I thought. Going to my room, I take Sophie on my lap and talk to her for a while. It is already getting dark and she is sleeping in my arms. I also notice that the weather is starting to get colder, it seems that winter is coming again. Lying on the bed, I take the new clothes that my father bought for Sophie and ask her to put them on, and after putting them on, she falls to bed and sleeps. In the morning. I wake up with Sophie screaming my name. Daddy, wake up, Grandma's calling, cried Sophie. I'm awake, calm down. Arriving at the door, I see that Mommy is worried and afraid. What happened, Mom? Is everything okay? I asked with concern. Son, the port is being attacked, she said with fear. What? By what is being attacked? I asked. Your father told me, to come and tell you to go outside, she said. Mom, hide with Sophie here, Fenrir will protect you, I said. I put on my new armor and run to the deck of the ship. Arriving there, I see a frightening image, of 200 fishmen attacking the port of Sharp Point, and I see 3 20-meter tall Tontadoos coming out of the sea. Father, how did this happen? I said, shouting. Son, they came quickly and began to attack the people. He said. Dad, Fenrir and Skull are taking care of Mom and Sophie, I will help them to kill these monsters. Brandon and Aunt Maria, protect